Hi, my name is Melanie. I'm here at Dr. Lussier's today. I am having a revision or a small little bit of lipo done to an area after I had my tummy tuck a year ago. I was really excited to have my tummy tuck. After having kids, my body had completely changed, and I had, even at my fittest point in my life, never had a flat stomach, but it definitely had changed. I had the diastasis recti where my abdominal muscles had separated and was really experiencing a lot of those post-baby body changes that women complain about. I had also had a bilateral breast reduction. I had always been larger, and I really just wanted to have my version of a mommy makeover, which was a breast reduction and a tummy tuck. Best decision I made for myself, for sure. I have been more comfortable in clothing than I have ever felt in my entire life. I feel like my body matches what I want it to be. So there's one dress that I received in one of my monthly shipments of clothing from Stitch Fix, and it's more form-fitting. It's not revealing or anything, but that was kind of my goal of wanting to be able to get into this really cute black dress so that I can feel like I really have that flat stomach I was going for.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Lussier, and this is one of my favorite patients and also colleagues because she runs a really spectacular med spa up in Bakersfield, California. About a year ago, we did a breast reduction and a lift, and then we did an abdominoplasty. And when I do abdominoplasties, I have to be very, very careful about the central part of the abdomen because if it breaks down, it's a really difficult problem to solve. So what we do is I don't do any liposuction in the central abdominal area, but I do pull a lot of skin away. Well, today we're going to do the second part of this operation, which is we're going to go back and we're going to finish up the liposuction that I couldn't do at the time for safety purposes. And today we're going to go back and do some secondary liposuction and really contour her into this beautiful figure. And then of course she's done her part because she's lost some weight for me. The other part of it is I'm going to go back and clean up the scar at the bottom, which always can be made better. It was a good scar, but we're going to make it better. And so today what we're going to show to you is the second part of an abdominoplasty. Can you tell me a little bit about the changes?
I feel like the photos are absolutely incredibly dramatic. I am today, on his scale, 5 pounds less than I was a year ago when we did the surgery. But I look like I'm probably 60 pounds less. It's absolutely wild. No amount of dieting or exercise was going to give me a flat abdomen and put my abdominal muscles back together. So thank you. I'm so happy. If I did nothing, I'd be happy, but I can do a little touch-up, a little extra, so why not?
So how do you do in bathing attire?
I mean, I think, I'm a mom, I'm 38 years old, I still do one pieces, but I have a 2-piece, I'm so comfortable in it. So, bathing attire, I'm ready for swimsuit season for sure.
Yeah,
but bathing suits are, form-fitting, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I like it too, and of course my goal is to see all my ladies in 2-piece bikinis.
Yeah.
It's
not
that's
that
my
you
goal.
haven't given me the figure for that.
And that's why I spend so much time on belly buttons, because they really take a long time to mature for stories that I will tell you when you come in for a consultation. But anyway, we're going to proceed now to markings for today's second phase of the procedure. We're going to use power-assisted liposuction, and then we're going to clean up her scar, and we'll show you the markings. So the first thing I do with the markings, even though it's just liposuction, cleaning up a scar, is I look for the midline, and I want everything's nice and neat. And sometimes I have to peek under the hood just to make sure everything's aligned. There we go, under the hood, and there we go. And that gets me started. So what happens over time is that the skin softens up, and that I can take a little bit more and clean it up, which is just so much fun to be able to do. And so I've got my trusty ruler here, which makes me draw straight lines. And you can tell because it's full of markings. So we're going to go 5 centimeters this direction and 5 centimeters that direction. Things change from sitting to standing. So now what I do is now we start looking for the areas of fat. Okay, so these little circles, what they do is they start drawing out some of the contours that I'm looking for. So this is my favorite area here. So what we do is I'm going to shape, you see the top of her buttock over here, and you want to give her a cute shape to her butt so that you transition from lower back to buttock. You see these lines. These will be diminished. So what I do when we do the surgery, what I do is I put her up on her side while she's asleep. And it allows me to really do this beautiful carving and contouring here, whereas she's just lying flat. I can't quite do as much. So the cuts, there's going to be a couple of cuts There's going to be one out here, and then we're going to put one up in your bra line up here. That's 2. And we'll do, because I'm going to try and contour a little bit here, we could do this with the scarring. And put another one in here. I'm going to do another one in here. And then another one out here. And one up here. And that's the plan.
I do love my belly button.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I had someone who saw it recently, and they're like, did he even move your belly button? And I was like, oh yeah, no, I should totally do it.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Well, and it takes a long time for them to mature, because what happens is you make them tight, but over time the skin with gravity stretches out. You get back to an oval, because at first it's just open, and then as time it stretches down. What we have in front of us is the before and after from the original surgery to today, where she's here for some secondary cleanup. And what you see here is that she's got a pretty good amount of skin hanging over and some fullness laterally. And if you see at the top here, you can see this is the segment of skin that we took out, and we brought the belly button incision down low to where a C-section incision would be. At the same time, we liposuctioned her flanks and her abdomen and her downtown department. Then at the top part, which you may or may not see in this image, is I did a breast reduction on her and liposuction her underarms. Then that leads us to 1 year later, where she went on to lose some weight, and she's got a lovely result, but she still has some fullness down in the lower part of her abdomen, because I don't liposuction the central abdomen at the time of a tummy tuck, because there's too much of a risk of a significant wound healing problem. So that leaves me to the second surgery. We're going to go back and clean up and tighten up her skin a little bit more and give her better contour. I am doing power-assisted liposuction on this woman, and she's sitting up on her side, which is the magic for contouring her, because I get an opportunity to do this beautiful contour around the hips and the flanks and the upper back. And when I'm using the power-assisted liposuction, because I've been here before liposuctioning, and what happens is we've infiltrated a solution which softens everything up, so now I can take away some of the residual fat. And this will change her contour dramatically, give her a beautiful result. So what I'm going to do now is I'm taking out the old scar and some of the subcutaneous tissue, taking it down to abdominal wall, and this will make a really clean scar. It's going to be just beautiful, and it fits a little bit better in her clothing. And what you see is this is some skin, some scar that I'm pulling up in my left hand. We've lipoed through this area earlier so that the heights below and above are very similar. And this is the piece of skin. So one of the additional benefits of doing it this way is that now that she's lost weight and her skin's relaxed, we're going to be able to make her abdominal skin even tighter. So it makes this really beautiful contour. And you know, I love having the opportunity to kind of add icing to the cake. So we'll look forward to showing you the results.